Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mason City Arena, the home ice for your Mason City Mohawks. As Hockey Day in the River City continues, we're following a 6-2 win in the JV contest, concluding just a moment ago as you see the varsity players warming up and getting ready to take the ice for our final varsity matchup of the weekend, with our third game in as many days as Mason City welcomes Boji back for the weekend cap. Well, it was a great game for the varsity team yesterday as well to complete another sweep of Boji, 4-1 in that final score. Mason City coming away the victor. Jocelyn Endelman picked up the win for the Mohawks in net as she just got the JV win a moment ago. She went 27 saves on 28 shots for a 96.4 save percentage. Another solid goaltending performance. And we're going to see Jacob Barr and how he can follow that up. He looked solid in net Friday night against Des Moines, and this is his next appearance after that. It definitely has been a great start for Barr, entering the game with a save percentage right at about 93%. So the senior from Mason City has looked solid, and we're going to hope that's his performance in net is paired with solid defense in front of him. Offensively for Mason City was a great game for Thomas Medlin with a goal and an assist, as well as Jordan Endelman in the varsity game, picking up his first points with a goal and an assist as well. Another multi-point performance for Aiden Hintermeister with 2 assists, as now it looks like he's up to 8 points with 4 goals and 4 assists on the season in 5 games. That's impressive for the senior from Spirit Lake. Quentin Peterson and Carson Asby also tallied a goal. Alex Cervantes and Avery Beyer picking up assists as well. So you look up and down the lines, and offensive forwards or defenders, everybody's chipping in to this 4-1 start for Mason City. And for the Mohawks, they're under new leadership this year, as Jake Sorensen entering his first year as head coach for the Mohawks, helping them get to a first 3-0 start for the first time in 19 seasons. And we caught up with Jake earlier this morning, and coming up in a moment we'll hear his thoughts and what's helped contribute to the fast start for Mason City and what could hopefully be a special season for this group of kids. We'll step aside. We'll bring you that interview with head coach Sorensen next, followed by our pregame introductions and the puck drop, all coming up here on the Mohawk Hockey Network.
Just a few moments away from puck drop between the Mason City Mohawks and Boji Mammoths from the Mason City Arena. Now we're talking with new head coach Jake Sorensen, who's got the Mohawks off to a very exciting start at 4 wins to just 1 loss. So, Coach, first off, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on taking on the new position for head coach. Now, obviously, we had a strong preseason, 4 wins to 1 loss, first 3-0 start since 2006. Something that you and coaches Page and Nielsen are doing is working. So, obviously, tell us a little bit about this fast start for the Mohawks.
Yeah, we started back in September doing some preseason skates, started full practice in October. We're trying to keep practices, very engaging, very fun, a lot of fast skating drills. We actually have some coaches join conditioning drills a couple times, just trying to keep everything fun for the kids, but also keeping them accountable. And so far, we've had great senior leadership. When I first took the job in the summer, I reached out to a lot of the seniors. They were excited for the upcoming season, and we've really kind of given the players ownership of the team. And I think so far it's been really fun, just in general. I try to tell them this season's a marathon, not a sprint, and it's a 5-month season. It's a very long season. And what we say is you guys just got to, we're going to have peaks, we're going to have valleys, but we just got to keep playing as a team and make sure everybody is just focused on the end goal of having a fun and successful season.
Well, awesome. Talking with some of the players, obviously one of the big things that stuck out to me was team morale. That's definitely up from their perspective. Nothing but nice things to say about your leadership. And obviously, you're no stranger to Mohawk hockey. You helped coach last year and, going way back in the day, a former all-star defenseman yourself. So obviously, something you're doing is working. But, with the players, they're just getting it done and watching the games. They look like they're having fun, playing loose. And you also kind of have some new kids stepping up into new leadership roles. To speak, you got some new captains, Avery Byer, as well as Lane Hansen getting elevated to captain. I'm sure I'm missing a couple others now, but either way, who's kind of standing out to you in terms of leadership amongst the players?
And that's one of the things as far as leadership. In the seniors, we have our captains, Lane Hansen, and he just got elevated to a captain. Hudson Carney's a captain. Thomas Medel and Avery Byer just got the assistant captains, but also just the other seniors. You look at Aiden Hintermeister, Jacob Barr, Jocelyn Endelman, Carson Asby. I feel bad. I'm probably missing somebody. But just in general, our senior leadership, you talk about somebody stepping up, for example, Carson Asby, we didn't know, what his role was going to be this year, and he's really stepped into that role as a senior. Aiden Hintermeister's had a huge season, and just in general, all those seniors we have on the team have just been a real joy to have and really kind of setting the stage for the young kids coming up. They're very involved with the JV kids, and, as part of this program is, I always tell the JV kids next year, those guys are going to be gone, and that's you. And the senior leadership has just been outstanding. So, we have the 4 captains, but I consider all those kids captains, and that's one of the things right off the bat. I called every senior and said, this is what we're going to do, and I'm excited to have you, and they just all bought in right away with kind of the plans that we had.
Well, without a doubt, it's been great to see, obviously not just the varsity, but JV at the time we talk at 3-2 entering today. So it's been a great start, but like you said, it's going to be a marathon. So you might have touched on this a little bit. Obviously they're having fun, having success early, but what's kind of the end goal here? This is a core group of kids that was just a point shy of the postseason. Is that in the back of your mind, or what are you kind of hoping to accomplish with this group of kids?
And that's a great question. And, obviously we want to make the playoffs this year. I think that would be one of our goals. And I tell the kids, especially in this league, I think that we can beat any team in this league. And I tell them, I'm just frank with them, and I think we can lose any team in this league as well. And I just, really try to tell them, take it one game at a time, work hard, play fast, play smart. And hopefully at the end of the season, things are just going to kind of fall right where we want them.
Well, things are definitely falling into place, but that's through hard work and a lot of tough games so far. But a big thing that's translated this year is finishing those, not just scoring chances, but also just finishing those close games. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to another hopefully big win here as coming off a 4-1 victory over Boji last night, and we're hoping for a similar result here today. We've been talking with head coach Jake Sorensen. Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Mitch.
Welcome back to the Mason City Arena, folks. We are just about set for the puck drop of our opening period between Mason City and Boji. We'll be starting with the line of Parker Page at center for the Mohawks. On the wings, Avery Byer and Brady Bieber. Wayne Hansen and Quentin Peterson, the defenders, and Jacob Barr back in net for the Mohawks. Boji still in the hunt for their first win. Mason City now third in the league standings with 8 points, 17 goals for. I believe it should be just 10 against. Mason City will get the opening draw here, and let's play hockey. Avery Byer going to tip this one forward off of the faceoff. He'll bring it across. Byer with an early shot. Frericks just makes the save and tips it away. Now Boji trying to get on the move here to start things off. Not a bad game for Luke Frericks yesterday in net, stopping 88% of shots to going 30 for 34 on net. They tallied a third period late goal courtesy of Braden Garvin. Assists going to Lucas Chappis and Aiden Clave. So Boji will get the face-off this time in their road navy and sky blue sweaters. Mason City in the home whites and reds. Parker Page will bring it across the blue line. Gets his stick lifted as he sends a shot, but it ends up in the net. Out of play. Counted 8 total players for the Mohawks with multi-points out of the gates here. So Sorensen really, again, as I'm sure what you've seen on the viewing screens, it has been an all-out team effort. And Mason City trying to go for their 5th win in 6 games here is right off the face-off. Wayne Hansen gets an open look from the high slot, snaps one on net. But Frericks doesn't have to move too much to make the save. Carney, along with Asby and Hintermeister now on the ice. As Boji gets the draw. They're going to pop this one up, and Hansen, like a soccer player, keeps it in front of the blue line. But Boji still finds a way to keep it moving. They'll dump it across, but they'll have to reset for offsides. Peterson trying to pass this one up. Carney moving up to center. He'll bring it across. Carney looking, trying to center this one. Finding Hintermeister on the doorstep, but Frericks reads it perfectly. Carney whips one back on net as he skates back to the bench. Now Boji still trying to keep it moving. Icing call 90 seconds into the contest. Plenty of action across the league as well. We'll bring you those scores here momentarily. Mason City going for a clean sweep on the weekend, both at varsity and JV, but we're still just off the blocks. Boji still playing them nicely all weekend long. We got to see if they have anything to say about that. Bieber with a nice pass back off the boards. Medlin will feed it right back to him. Ringing it around towards Page. Nice poke check for Page. Gets it over to Byer. From behind the net. Byer from in front of the net. Tries to slide it backhand. It just goes wide. And Boji will take it out of the zone. Miles Ferguson will dump it in, taking a check from Byer in the process. Medlin there to corral the puck. Medlin coming up the ice, crossing over to his right side. Gets it up towards Bieber, flinging it towards Frericks, and he'll freeze it 2.5 minutes into the game. Across the league, Waterloo currently out in front of Kansas City 1-0, as Des Moines also leading Omaha. That's the Capitals 1-0 currently. Cedar Rapids and Ames scoreless. And later today, we'll see the Des Moines Oak Leafs hosting Lincoln, and Dubuque taking on Sioux City. From the right side, a shot snapped on net from Wiley Worrell, and Carson Asby with a long pass up the ice, and Asby with an open net. Frericks way out of the crease forces Asby to his left, and he just can't get a shot in time. Good back checking by Quentin Peterson, but Boji still keeping the rush moving. Dexter Waltman with a nice shot on net. So it was an early morning to get things started here, but quickly both sides with easy looks to try and open up the scoring. Now a home run pass towards Hintermeister. A Boji on the back check and a nice check into the boards. Will be good pursuit on defense. Cervantes trying to work the boards. Back to Medlin. Byer trying to chip it forward. Pass Page. Cervantes sending it back towards the net. Traffic in the way. Brady Bieber fighting Page on the doorstep. Bieber with a shot. Too many bodies in the way. Puck rolling freely. Bieber will ring around the boards. Still a fight for the puck. With it now Avery Byer penetrating, giving a shot. Here's a second chance. A wrist shot and 2-for-1 saves. Luke Frericks stops the rush. But a very nice shift for Mason City, applying some pressure offensively. Right off the draw, Cervantes trying to make something happen. A one-timer to Asby. Blocked by Frericks. Now Medlin from the point. Toe save. And watch your lips. A puck goes flying nearly in our direction. Way out of play. And hopefully that didn't get anyone, as it's a nice hometown turnout, but everybody is currently looking away from the ice, seeing if someone might have taken an errant puck. The face-off will go to Boji. Puck gets sent back to Cervantes across the point. And it could be a quick turnover here. Barr with a nice move out of the crease to get it away from Cody Robinson, who might have had an open look. Now Hudson Carney racing up the ice. Carney from the right side. Puck goes behind the net. Medlin with a nice check. Cervantes from the point, working it back over towards Hintermeister. Shot just high. Now Cervantes from the point, trying to go for the deflection, and Frericks makes the save. Right off the face-off, it'll go back towards Hansen. Boji trying to dig it out from behind the net. Byer lowers the shoulder. Trying to clear it up the ice towards Ferguson. Sent back across by Byer. Mason City still trying to penetrate deep in the zone. Puck goes back behind the net. Mason City trying to work the corners. Boji just trying to clear it. Winds up towards Ferguson. Hansen keeps it in the zone. And now they just managed to get it past him. Peterson kicks it up towards himself. But fresh off the bench, Riley Worrell there to make the stop. Now Dexter Waltman racing up the ice from the right side. Gets it poked away by Hansen. Back to the point. That shot goes off the mark. Hintermeister trying to keep that moving out of the zone. Byer gets it past the blue line. Now a turnover in the attacking zone. Here's Parker Page with a shot. Just saved. A great open look, Parker Page. Keeping Boji on their heels, gets a tap and an open look. Trying to go glove side on Frericks, but not this time. Carney and Jacobs going for the face-off. It goes back to Medlin at the point, just to the right. Cervantes keeps it in front. Carney going towards Hintermeister. Hintermeister with a shot. And Frericks stops it in its tracks. We're 7 minutes into the first period. Mason City applying early pressure here. 12 shots on net to Boji's 2. The Mammoths will get the face-off here. Give kudos for the defenseman. Keeping the puck in front of the blue line. Boji just manages to chip it out past center ice. Garvin working it up. He had the lone goal for the Mammoths yesterday. Poke checks back and forth. It winds up behind the net of Barr. Pinned up against the post. Now they'll kick it back. Asby and Medlin on the move. What a feed from Medlin. He lays out. Slides the puck towards the center. Now Medlin with a chance. He twists it just wide. Just how fast these scoring chances can develop. Mason City is making it look close here. Trying to bring it out of the zone now. Medlin trying to work it off the glass, and it's caught by Ferguson, closing the gap. And he makes a nice save on Jacob Barr. And something happened there they didn't like. Barr wound up with a stick well after the whistle. But Barr, nevertheless, still makes the nice save at 8:43. So we mentioned the contrast, and obviously, so Ferguson's going to end up in the penalty box. A 2-minute minor. He had a nice look. Might have. So they call it for a slash as he tried to reach in, maybe try to dig the puck out. And Mason City, first time today, it's the Sports Page power play. They get the draw, kick back to Thomas Medlin, working it back over towards Byer. Out to Hintermeister, looking over the middle, looking for an open pass. Mason City with good shifts on the power play this weekend. They've capitalized a few times. They're trying to do it here to open up the scoring halfway through period number 1. Peterson has it. He's got some space, trying to pass off. He goes back to Medlin. Medlin closing in, takes a shot, just wide, and Boji will clear it. So once again, our power play brought to you by Sports Page of Mason City. Here comes Medlin, up center ice, passes it to the left. He finds Avery Byer, a shot just wide to the left. Wanting to go top corner, but Peterson gets the rebound. Still keeping it in the zone. Tips it back to Medlin. Over towards Byer up top. Now into the corner to Hintermeister. Over the middle. Trying to crash the net was Peterson. Medlin trying to catch the puck on the line, but it slides all the way back. 45 seconds left on the man advantage, Mason City. They're buzzing here. Action on the other side of the ice. We're still moving. Here comes Peterson. From the right side, tries to center it. He finds Hudson Carney. There's a big hit into the boards. That draws reaction from the Boji bench. Now over the middle, Cervantes to the left. Hansen back up top, back and forth passing. Cervantes underneath to Hintermeister, 20 to go on the power play. Hintermeister working fast behind the net. Now going back to the slot, dumps it off to Peterson, trying to go to Carney. The power play should expire here. Boji gets back to full strength, but Mason City got to keep their foot on the gas. Ferguson leaves the box, and now he's got the puck. Boji with numbers, they can't connect on a long pass. And offsides.
They're getting it from over here when they were fighting over here.
So we saw a little bit of pushing and shoving earlier. Aiden Hintermeister winds up in the penalty box, and talking things over with the Boji coaches as well. We're going to see Riley Worrell head back to the penalty box. So we kind of call it a penalty on principle. If that's what this penalty is referring to, that was well after the fact that they called it. They're going to move the face-off to the left wing of the Boji zone. It is coincidental penalties. It's still going to be 5-on-5. Now they've got company in the Boji box, so Lucas Keenan.
It's because you hit him twice without the puck, so they're getting 2 interferences on that.
Will now go into the box. Nothing on the scoreboard anymore. Well, never mind. We got 5-on-4. Right off the face-off, it's a shot for Parker Page. Mason City on the power play. It's a 2-minute bench minor and a pair of slashing penalties in the meantime. So Mason City winds up on the man advantage for the second time here in this one. With it, Brady Bieber passes it over to Hansen, now over to Cervantes from the left side. Back to Hansen up top. Over to the right to Bieber. And just leading him the other way. Pass goes wide. Mason City still with a little bit of time here. Minute 17 on the power play. 5:40 to go in the period. Bieber with a nice crossover, but he's going to be tripped up. Actually, no call. Neither on offsides. Mason City will bring it out now. Hudson Carney up the center, over the blue line. He'll get himself readjusted here. Now back over towards Thomas Medlin. Trying to go for the one-timer. He had Page on the other side. Carney looking to reset. From in front of the net, takes a shot. Just wide. Boji just manages to flick it back up north. 30 seconds to go on the Sports Page power play. Medlin up the center of the ice. He'll just dump it in. Frerichs will meet the puck behind the net. Endelman back to Medlin. Medlin goes back to Peterson. Whips one. Blocker save and play blown dead. So now they're going to move Hudson Carney for cross-checking. So Mason City had a look. They had bodies in the slot. A little bit of pushing, and it's going to be Carney getting the end of a cross-checking. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for just 10 seconds. Boji, they got to find a way to take control of the puck, and they'll find themselves on the power play as the final seconds will expire for Keenan's minor. Plays blown dead. And now it'll be 5-on-4 for Boji. 4:29 to go here in the first period. Mason City still applying more pressure. 14 shots on goal to 3. Face-off will go to the Mohawks. Hansen whips it off the glass. And Page will do the rest, clearing the puck. Now we're going to see Mason City's penalty kill unit go to work here. Will be taken out by Jacobs. Trying to pass at center ice. Byer's going to jump in the way and rings it around on net. 1:20 left here on the man advantage. Byer in the zone, going for the quick turnover. Tries to center it. Almost had Page in place. Mason City taking their chances short-handed here. Boji's just got all 5 players trying to flock to the puck. Taking their time to bring it out. 50 seconds to go. And less than 3.5 left in the period. Boji will dump it in. A dump and chase look here, trying to get numbers now. They'll keep it at the blue line. Pressured, and Byer clears it. Page hustling. He'll whip it around the net. Page trying to make something happen. Sends it across towards Hintermeister, and back checking for Boji will take away the look. Looks like another delayed penalty on Mason City. Boji with the delayed penalty. They're going to take Frericks off the ice, and an extra attacker. The pressure on Mason City now. It's Robinson and Hintermeister. Will just get it away, but a tough break for Mason City down the stretch here in period number 1. They started the period off clean with good offensive chances, but now they're just playing at a disadvantage as Boji has another fresh power play. 2 minutes for interference. And we got to get back to hockey now. Both teams still looking for the first score. Thomas Medlin with a nice steal, and Hudson Carney will keep it moving. Along the far side, Carney with a crossover. Crashing the net, takes a shot just up wide. Alex Cervantes skating with the puck all the way down to Mason City's side. They're still short-handed, but Mason City trying to clear it, or maybe trying to get something set up on a quick turnover and rush. Cervantes from behind the net gets it across. Carney trying to track it down. Now Boji trying to slow things down here and take it end to end halfway through the power play. Over the line they come with Robinson, and a steal from Bieber. Now a shot from the point. Barr watches it all the way in, makes a nice save with 1:27 to go in the first. Still scoreless from the River City. Try to pass it back to the point. Puck goes wide. Boji trying to bring it back. They get the puck to center ice. Quentin Peterson making some nice moves. He'll dump it in. 30 seconds left on the minor to Hintermeister. Bieber trying to fight for the puck behind the red line. Boji will come out with it. Jacobs along the far side. He's getting some good space here. His shot goes wide. Back to the point. A crisp shot from Worrell. Mason City now back to full strength. 30 seconds to go in the period. Mohawks trying to make something happen, and the Mammoths trying to keep it in the zone. Let's see if we can get a score with time running out. A shot off the mark. Now on the other side, it's Aiden Hintermeister racing. Hintermeister with a look. Just didn't get it all of that one. And Frericks easily flicks it away. And time will run out here in the first period. We'll head to the first intermission as we're still scoreless between Mason City and Boji after one. More hockey on the way on the Mohawk Hockey Network. Welcome back to the home ice of your Mason City Mohawks as both teams retake the ice after our first intermission. Still scoreless here in our final game of a 3-day weekend. Started back on Friday, Mason City 1-1 on the weekend, a 2-1 close defeat in a good game against the Des Moines Capitals back on Friday. 4-1 they defeated Boji last night, but they haven't quite gotten out to the start they were hoping for here. Still scoreless with the Mammoths, but they're playing them tightly. A little bit more of a physical game here today. Trying to showcase a little bit of toughness on either side, but still, we got to play in and focus on the puck and try to execute and finish our scoring chances. The Mohawks still in the driver's seat in terms of the tempo. 15 shots on goal to Boji's 4. Solid goaltending on either side. Jacob Barr now moves to the south net, while Luke Frericks will defend the north. Frericks 15 saves on 15 shots in the first. 2-0 against Boji on the weekend was the JV team. They got the one varsity win, so they're trying to make it a clean sweep and stay unbeaten on the home ice. Puck goes back over the blue line after our opening face-off here in period number 2. Hintermeister, what a redirect up the ice to Hudson Carney. Carney takes a shot just off the body of Frericks. And just 20 seconds here into the period already, a great chance on the doorstep for Mason City. No offsides as there's a great feed back up the ice from Quentin Peterson. Boji gets it up through the neutral zone, trying to tip it forward with Robinson giving chase, but good back checking on the Mason City defense. Hansen clears the puck around behind the net and gives a nice shove. Hintermeister trying to chip it back, but we'll get a line change here with icing called at 16:03. Thank you once again for tuning in. Mitch Kieran, glad to be back behind the microphone for a second straight season. Don't forget, we're bringing you live, high-definition coverage of every home and away Mason City High School hockey game this season. If you haven't yet, be sure to give the subscribe button a nice slap shot, ring the bell, and don't miss a moment of the action. And you should be able to watch back all the highlights from past broadcasts as well. Just look up Mohawk Hockey Network on YouTube. Icing again on the Mohawks as Boji will have a face-off coming up in the left wing here. Lucas Chappis, who's had plenty of minutes on the ice all weekend long, will head for the draw with Parker Page. And Page should win it for the Mohawks, but they'll fight for it in the corner. Brady Bieber digs it out, and he's coming up the near side. He's got a man to his left and a look. He'll try to get the one-timer to Avery Byer. A great pass, great shot, but still stuffed with the toe save from Frericks. What a save. Frericks with a head on a swivel saw that he had Byer to his right. He anticipated the pass, and he made the right guess, but they're coming back. Parker Page leaves it for Byer and to score! Mason City once again out in front for the first time in this one. They get back-to-back looks on the shift, and Avery Byer this time will finish it for his 4th goal of the season, and it's a 1-0 hockey game for Mason City.
Scoring for the Mason City Mohawks, number 2, Avery Byer, assisted by number 20, Parker Page.
And Parker Page that time on the setup. He gets the assist, and Byer, he had himself a great weekend in Kansas City with 3 goals. He had an assist yesterday, and now adds to his score total as they try to go for a one-timer on the other side. Robinson camped out glove side on Barr, but he just couldn't connect for the shot on an open net. Now this time Barr with a long shot will make the save. Still a live puck back to the neutral zone. Mohawks will now try to bring it up. Lane Hansen with a nice pass, enters the zone. Parker Page, that his third assist on the season. And he's a very solid playmaker if you ask me. Last year as a freshman at JV, 5 goals to 15 assists. 1 goal and 5 assists at the varsity level last year. And he's another one that's stepped up in a big way. Got the start at center in this one. And just as important as it is to find the twine, you got to help set up your teammates, and Page has done that nicely, but he also has an ability to score as well. Boji had to get back on sides, and they'll get the puck right back in the zone, but now Mason City trying to move it up the ice. Peterson had 2 men there. Pass to his left, it gets tipped back. Still over the zone. Mason City offsides. And they couldn't get back. We'll stop play momentarily at 13:22. Mason City trying to get the draw. It'll eventually go to Boji. And sent in from Waltman. And Barr's got to get back in the net there as he's got skaters crashing the net. There's a nice pass up to Page, and there's a big hit in the neutral zone. And there we go, a one-timer and a goal. Back up the ice. Bieber to Cervantes. Another great score, and Mason City getting back on the sticks here in the second as they now lead it 2-0. Boji playing tough in the neutral zone, but Mason City, you got to give them credit, just keeping the puck moving. And they go back to the one-timer setup and capitalize. Brady Bieber got it over to Alex Cervantes, and number 8 having himself a weekend too. I thought Bieber might have had a stick on that as well. Beyer and Page get credited with the assists. Medlin moving it through the neutral zone. Thomas Medlin coming up the center of the ice, and they just get them off sides. And now tempers flaring after the whistle. .12:36 to go in the second. Mason City quickly finding a lead and growing it to 2. And Boji now trying to play hard to get on the scoreboard. Off the face-off, Medlin will send it deep. Asby gets back there for a poke check. Alex Cervantes trying to hold the line for Mason City. Gets past the blue line, and Boji trying to get on the move. With it now, Rowan, actually that's Chappis. There's a nice pass up the ice, leading Aiden Hintermeister into the zone. Hintermeister passes it over to Asby from the left side. Back to Carney up top. Hudson Carney over towards Cervantes. Now to the corner for Hintermeister, back behind the net. Trying to center it. A shot on net. And a save for Frericks. Frericks makes the save. Play blown dead. 11:56 to go in the second. Coming out of the scrum, Carson Asby will be in the penalty box for Mason City. Face-off will move to the south end here in the zone of Jacob Barr.
Number 13, 2 minutes, cross-check.
So they're going to get Asby called on a cross-check. A 2-minute minor. Boji goes back on the power play. Reaching up for it was Garvin. Bieber trying to keep it moving short-handed. Bud Boji goes back on the attack here. Hansen with a nice poke check. And Lane Hansen, nice job. He clears it out. 20 seconds into the power play. Boji trying to make something happen and fast. They'll pass it up to Garvin. Now over towards Jacobs. Jacobs brings it over the blue line. Jacobs trying to chip it back, and it's left unattended, and Worrell will have to race back to get the puck. Tipped by Byer, now in the neutral zone. Boji gets it across, icing waved off. Now Brady Bieber racing up the ice. He's got one man in front of him. He does it the hard way to get the puck down to the other end. Still playing the penalty kill here, 50 seconds. Alternate captain Worrell trying to direct traffic. Now up to Robinson, and here comes Grady Olson. Carney with a nice check into the boards, trying to dig the puck out. Carney gets tripped up, and they will call that. Carney playing it cleanly. I thought he had a lane to get back up north. And now you see him stand in snow down the pants. And now a penalty on Boji. So 31 seconds remaining on the cross-checking minor to Asby. And now 2 minutes for tripping for Miles Ferguson. Ferguson, a sophomore out of Spirit Lake, leads the Boji Mammoths in scoring with 4 points, 3 of which assists. Cervantes, right off the faceoff, snaps one on net from the slot, saved by Frericks. So it's 4-on-4, and the puck for the faceoff in Mason City's attacking zone. They could take advantage here, just play it like a power play, but Boji will come away with the draw. Slap back by Cervantes. Now Carney will tip it across. Loose puck along the far boards. They'll send it across. Medlin gets it back in. Carney giving chase, trying to work the corners now. Tries to center it towards Hintermeister. He'll go back to Medlin. Medlin fields it nicely. From the point. Deflected, still alive, puck off the glass. And now Mason City back to full strength. Peterson will go on the ice for Mason City. There's a one-timer. Bud blocked off a stick. Hintermeister from the corner, looking. Wanting an open shot, doesn't have it. He sees it. Snaps one on net, blocked by Frericks. Carney with the puck on the far side. Trying to get to center. Dumps it off to Byer. Byer underneath to Hintermeister. Hintermeister trying to go to Carney. Right on the doorstep. Peterson goes back to Medlin. High slot and a score! 3-0 now, and Thomas Medlin with a huge weekend. That's his second goal in 2 days. They played the power play perfectly.
And number 97,
Hintermeister picks up his third assist in 2 games against the Mammoths. Medlin with his second goal in 2 days. And Quentin Peterson with another assist. So it's 3-0 now. Mason City in the driver's seat. Boji still trying to get in this one. Only 5 shots on net, and Barr redirects another one. 21 for the Mohawks. Peterson tries to clear out of the zone. Byer finds it in the neutral zone, centers it to Page. Parker Page finds Bieber. Bieber back to Page. Back and forth passing. Nobody quite takes a shot. Not a bad look for the Mohawks. They'll try to get reset here. But the puck goes wide, and a chance gets away from them that time. You had 3 men entering the zone. Great positioning. Both wings on either side, Page in the center. Page with the puck, definitely still with that pass first mindset. Tried to go to his right, but they just couldn't pull the trigger. Now Thomas Medlin trying to pass it up. He finds Carson Asby. Asby over the blue line. Here he comes. Takes a shot. Frericks plays it perfectly from the butterfly. We got a 2-0 lead, Waterloo over Kansas City. Ames leads Cedar Rapids on the road, 1-0. Omaha over the Des Moines Capitals, currently 2-1. We got a 3-0 hockey game here, scoreless from Des Moines as the Oak Leafs and Stars of Lincoln are scoreless, and Dubuque and Sioux City just getting underway. Boji brings it into the zone. Ferguson feeds it. Thomas Medlin laying out, extending the twig, getting in front of a shot for Robert Cornell. Now Carney with a shot towards Asby. Plays blown dead at 7:20 to go in the second. And the penalty box door opens up on Boji's side. Heading into the box, Robert Cornell. We go back once again on the sports page power play for the Mohawks. Face off in the attacking zone. Brady Bieber will try to go for the face off here. He's got Page, Asby, Hansen, and Cervantes on the ice. Brady Bieber with the puck, bringing it up the near side. He's got a lane. He'll bring it across. Bieber looking from the slot. He's still skating with it. He'll go back to the point to Cervantes. Over towards Hansen. Hansen takes a shot. Just saved by Frericks. Nice slide to his left. And makes the snag. Carney on the draw, gets it to Page from the corner. Page spins around, redirects it back towards Brady Bieber. Back to Hansen from up top. Skates it over to Cervantes, now back to Bieber. Bieber takes a shot. A great look, but Frericks makes another nice save. Page jumps on the loose puck after the face-off. Just about halfway through the penalty. Page looking. They'll go back up top to Cervantes. Now over to Hansen. Hansen sends a shot in. Carney there for the deflection. Just goes wide. Now Cervantes from the point again. Mason City trying to reset. Cervantes looking, skating closer. He'll tip it back to Page. Now Page tries to slide it in. Bieber gets held up. Mason City still with the puck, 37 on the penalty. They go back to Bieber. Bieber trying to feed it underneath the Page. That's a nice idea. 30 seconds. Cervantes from the far side skates it closer, back behind the net, looking. Hansen from the point takes a shot just off the leg pads. Another nice save for Fredericks, down to 15 seconds. Cervantes! And it goes off the bar, but no goal. We thought we had a chance. Now, there will bury it. Parker Page with the score. Shot for shot, a flurry around the crease of Fredericks, and finally Parker Page takes advantage. And the Mohawks once again score on the power play. A big game for Parker Page. That's his first goal, already to pair with 2 assists. That's a 3-point afternoon. And it's a big second period for the Mohawks. 4-0. They take the lead, all 4 scores here in the second. And Boji will burn a timeout. We'll step aside briefly. And more hockey coming up next on the MHN. Face-off will go to Boji after they take a timeout, just trying to get their bearings straight. Trying to stay in this one, and they got to find a way to get on the scoreboard. At center ice, it's Chappis. He'll send it in. Barr, staying aware, will send it to the corner. On the other side, Cornell. They're trying to work it from back behind the net. Boji trying to get themselves set up. Hansen trying to dig it out against the board. And now we got an open look. Here comes Nolan Hurd. He's got a defender to his right, so he sends a shot from the left wing. He sensed the pressure, didn't have a passing lane, so he just takes the shot. That's the right move. But Fredericks can give credit to his defenseman. He saw it coming, makes a nice glove save. Carney will go for the draw with Jake Jacobs, and Jacobs will get it this time for Boji. Now they got to clear the zone. Nice couple of quick passes, and Jacobs gets it past center ice, dumps it in. Barr redirects it, but Jacobs will get it to it first. See if Boji can get something set up here. Nice pass up to Worrell, snaps a shot. And a flash of the leather for Jacob Barr. Nice save at 4:15. "28 shots on net for Mason City. That's 13 from this period. Scoring on 4 of them. Boji with 3 this period for a total of 7 shots on net. Mason City will get the face-off. Boji trying to tip it back. And they take it out of the zone. Here comes Aiden Hintermeister from the right side. Spins around. Tries to pass it off. Hintermeister with a stick lift. And he'll take the puck right back. Rifles it off the boards, finds Asby on the other side. Centers it in. Hintermeister gives chase and takes it to the neutral zone. Tries to pass it up to Kearney. A little long. Mason City on the move. Thomas Medlin finds the loose puck. Rings it around the other side, working the corners with Kearney. Boji finds a way to clear it. They'll get icing, but we'll just get a quick breather here. And a face-off back on the north end. Page hits the face-off to the right. And now a scrap for the puck along the near board. Coming out of it is Boji, and they get it right back to Robert Cornell on the move. Crosses over, trying to stay with it. Takes a backhanded shot. Barr makes a nice save. Boji trying to get themselves set up. They got the puck at the point. Byer giving chase. Tips it off the boards. Parker Page on the move. Page just couldn't quite get all of that one. Hansen with good contact. Keeps it in the zone. Bieber gets it up towards Page. Back to Bieber. Let's see if Mason City can get set up here. Page getting back to center. Moves it over to Peterson. From the right side. Now working the passing. Going for the one-timer. Just unable to connect. Nice move from Hansen. Hansen from the left side. Byer tips it up. Hansen's got it again. Sends it on net. Just a toe save at the last second. Nice job for Hansen. Mason City's defenseman doing an exceptional job this weekend keeping it in the zone. Pass out to the center ice. Hansen staying toe-to-toe with Cornell. Sends it back across. Peterson once again trying to get back on side. He'll dump it in. Back behind the net. Page on the move. Long pass from the Mammoths across the ice. Asby tips it forward. Parker Page moving. Dancing with the puck behind the net. We got about 90 seconds left here in the second. Mason City trying to make something happen. Page coming up the center of the ice. Tries to leave it for Asby. Now Medlin on the move. Whips it on net. Boji tips it forward. Racing it with it is Robinson. Robinson, nice little crossover. And a shot from the slot from Jacobs. Just tipped away. A quick scoring chance developing that time for Boji. They almost capitalize. Trying to set themselves up in transition again. Now Thomas Medlin digs it out. Here comes Medlin from the right side. A shot just saved by Frericks. Face-off coming up in the right wing. We got 53 seconds left here in the second period. It's been all Mason City so far in this one. Thomas Medlin with a shot once again. Asby trying to dig it out on the rebound. Going back to Kearney behind the net. Now up to Hintermeister. Tries to go back to Medlin, but off the mark. Medlin back up the ice. Trying to find Hintermeister in stride. It goes free and icing at 27.6. Off of the face-off, there's a nice feed forward from Bieber to Page. Page takes a shot. Toe save by Frericks. He plays the rush perfectly that time. Page making the right call, trying to sneak one by on the right side. Frericks been playing solid from the butterfly, just dropping down. Getting both pads extended and blocks it. Boji will get the face off. Trying to clear it. Medlin will keep it in. Trying about time for one more shot. Page sends it across. Back to Hansen. He's got a rifle one. Hansen just snagged by Frericks at the horn. Well, what a great period for Mason City. 4 goals on 18 shots on net, and they're getting back to their game of hockey. We got 17 minutes left in this one as we head to our second intermission. And you're listening to Mohawks against the Mammoths on the Mohawk Hockey Network. Welcome back to the ice, folks. Second intermission almost in the books. And we're just about set to drop the puck for our third and final period here from the River City as Mason City lit up the scoreboard. In the second period, they now lead it 4-0, opening up the scoring in the second. We had Avery Byer scoring first, a minute 45 in, on a goal assisted by Parker Page, who had another hand along with Byer in the next goal. Following it up at the 4-minute mark, Alex Cervantes netting the second goal of the period, and then Thomas Medlin executing on the first of two power plays in the second. Medlin assisted by Quentin Peterson and Aiden Hintermeister. And Parker Page unassisted on the power play at the 11:34 mark. So a breather to get their bearings straight. See if the Mohawks continue to add to their lead or if the Mammoths make it a little bit closer here in our third and final period. Across the league, Waterloo defeats Kansas City in a 2-1 final, so 4-1 the Warriors stand in the standings. And it should be a very interesting contest this Thursday. Usually is between Mason City and Waterloo, so that's where we'll be next this Thursday evening. Join us on the Mohawk Hockey Network, or if you're in the area, stop on by the Mason City Arena, one of the best places in North Iowa to watch hockey. Mason City in the zone, 7 seconds after the opening draw. Page will tip this back. The Bieber to Peterson. Peterson will just rifle one. And getting in the way, a Boji defender. Jacobs clears it through the neutral zone, and they're going to pass back up. Boji with the puck currently. Des Moines Capitals currently leading Omaha 4-2. Ames on top of Cedar Rapids in a road game 2-0. Same score, Lincoln on a road game currently beating Des Moines, the Oak Leafs 2-0. And we're knotted at 1 apiece between Sioux City and Dubuque. Pass over to Peterson on the left side. Now Bieber absorbs a hit and takes one back. But Boji moving with the puck now. A shot on net. Barr cradles it for a save. Just 58 seconds into the third period. For the Mammoths, they're still trying to get their first win in this one, and next weekend they'll head to the capital city to take on the Capitals from the Des Moines Bucks Arena next Saturday. Hudson Carney skating from the corner, looking to pass it off as he's got two defenders to work against, and finally Cornell will come away with it, bringing it up the left side. Nice poke check from Thomas Medlin. Now Carney. Off of the boards, he gets it in the zone. Boji passes it through the neutral zone and on net for Barr. He'll keep it live. Medlin corrals the puck behind the net. Another multi-point game for Thomas Medlin, as he had a goal and an assist yesterday. And it is second goal of the season. I believe that makes him second in the team in points with 5 total. Actually now tied with Byer, 4 goals and an assist for him. A centering pass, but taken back by Byer, and the Mohawks going to try to keep it moving up the ice. Sliding it across towards Cornell. Now Carney. Actually, that's Hansen. High on an arch. It's deep in the zone. Mason City trying to get themselves set up. A fight for the puck along the boards. Byer trying to work it back the other corner to Page. Pass across, sent back the other way by Byer. Lane Hansen over the blue line, tries to center it in the direction of Parker Page, takes a shot just to the right. Now Page finds the loose puck again, centers it. Asby nearly with a look in the slot, and Peterson on the left side. Lane Hansen back checking in the meantime, pokes the puck free. Boji keeps it in the zone. Passing it over the middle, Bieber with the steal. Pass center ice. Pushed against the boards. Kearney trying to keep it moving. And it gets tipped back to the neutral zone. 13:32 to go in the game. Here comes Kearney up the near side, trying to pass it through Hintermeister. He'll send it across. Hudson Kearney from behind the net. Gets held up. Cervantes, keep it in front of the blue line. Got to give big credit to the defenseman. Kearney with a big check and a delayed penalty. And that's going to be an unfortunate penalty as we see a player down, and you again hate to see that. Kearney will go to the penalty box. And we'll step aside for an injury timeout in the meantime. So it looked to be Aiden Cleve, the player down along the boards, but he's held back to the bench and able to walk back to the corridor at his own strength. So obviously a very tough hit, but it's going to be a boarding penalty on Hudson Kearney. Obviously Cleve, we hope he is in good shape, and the good thing is he's able to get back to the bench at his own strength. So that's always a good sign, but we're going to continue to hope for the best. Nolan Hurd will join Kearney in the penalty box to help serve it up, and it'll just be 2 minutes on the clock. Boji on the power play. Kearney helmet and gloves off, so we're going to wait to see when he returns to the game. Kearney, a senior captain, and this offseason the recipient of the Tom Lloyd Award, so we know he's a good kid and definitely one of those senior leaders that Sorensen gave credit to.
Hudson Kearney, number 6, 210, 40. Nolan Hurd, serving 2 minutes.
Cleve back on the bench, equipment still on. So he should be okay. Just a tough break for Kearney, 2 and a 10. Boji trying to capitalize on the power play in the meantime. Parker Page will poke this one up the ice, racing up the far side. Page tries to center it, finds Byer, whips it around, and a save made by Frericks. Another good look at just how quick Mason City can flip the rink. Page with a poke, keeping the puck moving forward. Off the face-off, Boji trying to clear out of their own zone, get the power play working. Bringing it up the ice, the captain, Riley Worrell, passing it over to Cleve. Blocked in traffic. Offside's blown off. Mason City with the puck. They might try to set something up shorthanded, and Medlin will just clear it. Minute 13 on the penalty. We got the Mason City Squirts taking the ice next. So it's been a busy weekend for hockey here in the River City, and it's not done just yet. Behind the net, Chiapas will let Cornell take it up the near side. 42 seconds left on the penalty. Nice quick whip around by Hansen, going all the way down, back down south. Frericks and Barr switching sides once again. 35 shots on target for Mason City, just 9 for Boji. Penalty set to expire in 10 seconds. Boji might try to get the offense set up here. From behind the net, there's a nice check into the boards for Medlin. Hurd will get back to the bench, and Mohawks now in full strength. Hintermeister gets the puck at the point, tries to center it towards Beyer. Off of his stick and right into the trapper of Frericks to take away the look from Mason City. Beyer going for the face-off. He gets it. Sent back to Cervantes. Had an open look to send one on net, and Frericks watches it all the way in. Boji trying to clear it as the Mohawks make it the even strength game once again. 10.5 minutes remaining. Cervantes pops one up, and Frericks fields it like an outfielder. 10-17. Cervantes sends this one deep behind the net. Hintermeister trying to make something happen, trying to get creative. It gets kicked back to Peterson. Peterson takes a check into the boards. Boji jars the puck loose. Up the near side. Cervantes holds the line. Beyer trying to defend it. From the corner, a collision. Beyer, in the meantime, comes away with the puck. Avery Beyer over the blue line. Olsen might have got a piece of that one to take it away. Back and forth passing behind the net. Loose puck, still in the zone. Boji gets it out. No icing off the deflection. And here comes Hintermeister up the far side, trying to get back to center. Peterson keeps it moving. Nice little redirect. Now Peterson on the move. We'll try to set it up for Jordan Endelman, who went down at the end of the JV game, and he looks to be okay. So we're glad to see him back on the ice, getting some minutes here. 8:45 left in the game. Off the leg pad of Barr as the shot comes in. Mason City trying to work it in transition. Hansen now back with the puck. From the neutral zone, it gets sent back by Boji. Towards Endelman, he'll go back to center, but it finds a couple of Boji players, a one-timer, and a score. A couple of quick passes, and they work the puck over to Jake Jacobs, who finally gets Boji on the board. So for Jacobs, that should be his first points of the season at the varsity level.
Scoring for Boji, number 20, Jake Jacobs, assisted by number 4, Cody Robinson, and number 13, Lucas Travis.
So you also hear Chappis adding to his point total on the weekend with another assist. Cody Robinson also. And Jacobs to make it a 4-1 hockey game here. Boji showing some life, and we got the same score last night currently. Boji trying to finish strong here this weekend in the River City. And Mason City still trying to cling to a 3-goal lead for their 5th win of the season. Nolan Hurd tips it forward. Boji back checking. All the way behind the net, Kinnick Peterson now on the ice trying to close the gap. Now Kinnick with a look. As well as Hurd trying to give chase. Puck gets sent back behind the net. Boji trying to pop it up, take it back by Byer. Avery Byer with a shot. Right at Frericks for the save. So it's been another game with a lot of positives from both sides. Again, it's a tough battle, trying not to let the physicality take over too much, as the scoring really opening up since the second period. It's 4-0 Mason City. And that could hopefully build some confidence for the Mohawk and their scoring abilities. Mason City trying to set something else up. They're back in their defensive zone. Peterson brings it out from behind the net. Peterson, just great long passes we've seen from him all weekend long. They'll keep it moving from the neutral zone. Parker Page trying to center it, but nobody home. And fresh off the bench, here comes Garvin. Actually, that's Cornell. With it now, Robinson with a shot just sent in wide. Now back from the point. They're going to get a one-timer from Worrell. Play blown dead. So still unsure of the call. Okay, so Boji, too many men on the ice. That's the second time this weekend they've gotten tagged with that. So Mason City will go back on the power play, brought to you by the sports page. Serving it up will be Cody Robinson, and Mason City back on the power play. Asby wins the face-off. It goes back to Thomas Medlin trying to rifle it. He finds Hintermeister on the skate, and Byer, like a shortstop, keeps it in front of the blue line. Sent back through the neutral zone. Boji clears it. Already 2 power play goals in this one for the Mohawks. See if they can make it 3. Bringing it up the ice, Thomas Medlin through center. Passes it off to Asby. Looking, he goes back to Byer. Byer closing in, going for the deflection for Medlin. Doesn't get it this time. Puck still loose outside the crease. Back to the corner for Peterson. Medlin giving chase. A shove into the boards. He's got a look. He keeps it moving. To the other corner. Still a fight for the puck halfway through the penalty. Now Worrell rifles it, but it's hold on. Byer in the way. Under a minute to make something happen with the penalty. Hintermeister had an open look at the blue line. They try to get it moving to him. Hintermeister loses his skates as the Mammoths coming off the bench finally close the gap. Hintermeister will skate off for Bieber. And Mason City with 30 seconds on the power play. They get it sent back. Thomas Medlin gets it up to Parker Page. Across by Hurd, but tipped back, and now Boji. Medlin, and there's Bieber on the back checking. Gives a shoulder, takes away a shot. The penalty set to expire for Mason City, but they might try to get something set up on the move. Thomas Medlin. Back to even strength here. Medlin sends it in. Cervantes extends the twig. Still a loose puck. It's rolling up the near side, and here come the Mammoths. Cody Robinson gets it poked away by Hansen. Back to center ice. Over the line comes Worrell. Nice use of the body by Hansen. Gets the puck free again. Boji will send it back. Watch your lips along the bench. Nice pass to get it out of the zone. They send it back on net of Barr. Play blown dead again. Offsides at 3:30. Hintermeister will poke it forward off the face-off. And maybe a turnover in the neutral zone, but they couldn't quite fully corral the puck. Poke forward by Hintermeister. Back and forth, a fight for the puck. Both these teams wanting another score for good measure. So far here in the third, it's just been the lone goal courtesy of Boji and Jake Jacobs. From behind the net, it'll be dug out by Garvin. Brady Garvin bringing it up. Trying to dump it across. It just slides freely over. Now Jordan Endelman across the ice to Aiden Hintermeister. Hintermeister trying to pass this one off. He'll send it to the slot. Byer. Back across to Hintermeister. He's got a look. Hintermeister on net. Just blocked by Frericks. Back to the point with Lane Hansen. Hansen, go over the one-timer. Hintermeister gets a piece of it. Back behind the net, Hintermeister racing for the puck. Still sliding along the far boards. Boji will take it out of the zone. Good back-checking. 4 defenders on the other side. Take away a shot and the pass. They get it close. Ferguson just couldn't get a shot off. Less than 2 minutes to go. Endelman tries to pass it up the ice as icing gets waved off. A fresh line from Mason City. Medlin at center ice. He'll skate it backwards. Tries to tip it up. Boji will get it. An open look, but offsides. Too good to be true. Down to our final 90 seconds in this one. Mason City looking to hold on for their 5th win in their first 6 games. A lot of positives through the first 3 weekends for the Mohawks. And for Boji, they played tough, but still beyond the hunt for their first win. Page over the blue line. Great puck handling, but he finds himself back over the blue line just as I say that. Pass it up to Ames. Less than a minute to go here. Back up the ice towards Dexter Wolfman. Picked up by Robinson, sliding away from him. And goodness. Jacobs going for his second goal, crashes into the boards, and the play's blown dead, and it's going to be look like a hooking penalty coming up here. And they called for hooking. We still don't know, and it's finally going to be charged to Parker Page. So Mason City could be shorthanded from here on out. 45 seconds left in the game. Off the face-off, Boji gets a shot popped up and over the net. Trying to clear it. Hansen from deep, but now here's a shot. Bar. Right to the chest. Nice save at 30 seconds. Boji with a chance. They pass it across the ice. Ferguson gets a shot blocked by Hansen. Hansen through the center of the ice. Boji's got to reset here. Wasting valuable time. They got to get back on sides. And now Avery Byer will take advantage. Byer with a shot. Saved by Frericks. Byer frustrated that he couldn't capitalize on the turnover and rush, but it's still a great look, and got to flush it and move on here. Boji will get the face off, but time will run out here. Mason City back on a winning streak here as they take 2 from Boji to get to 5-1 and firmly back near the top of the league standings. A great weekend for Mason City hockey, going 2-1, nearly 3-0, with another close game back on Friday, but they get a clean sweep, both JV and varsity, 2-0 over Boji. My name is Mitch Kieran. Thank you so much for tuning in as Mason City caps off a great finish here with 2 4-1 victories over Boji. We'll see you again this Thursday night for the Mohawks when they welcome the defending national champions and still red-hot Waterloo Warriors. They're back here this Thursday night for puck drops at 6 and 8. Until then, thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your weekend.